Hey, what's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network and channel, giving a shout out to the rest of the crew: Shad, Kelvin, Jermaine, KB Film Room, Big Dog Talk Sports. That's right, that's right. For everyone who's tuning in, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel. Help make this show the best that it can be. And I have a real bar burner for you, whoever tuning in. And I keep saying, now just mind you, before I play this clip in the background, you're going to hear the audio. But just remember, I didn't say it. He said it. Just remember that. I didn't say it. He said it. People want to know why the NBA is in flux, and we keep on saying, you cannot put one player over an entire league. This has never been done before in the history of professional basketball. Or you can say baseball or football. We didn't see this with Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain. Like the articles I read, or books, or whatever. Jerry West, Julius Erving, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. We can go down the line, people. I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. And they literally telling you what's going on. They're literally telling. It's almost like what they're doing is they're seeing who's willing to join in and hop on board. That's what this feels like. And I'm telling you, the NBA, if it ever folds, if this league ever folds, this is going to be the reason why. Just remember that. This is the greatest basketball league we're ever going to see. There's not going to be another league that's going to top it if they ever even thought about creating one. This league is too rich in history of the sport. It was built off of the innovation of Dr. James Naismith. You know what I'm saying? Who invented basketball, essentially. And he had a vision for what the sport can turn into. And there's been a lot of great interpretations of the sport. A lot of great players who have played in this league and basketball in general. But I'm telling you, people, when I play this clip, there cannot be any shadow of a doubt that this agenda is real. And why, as a fan of the NBA, even more so than I'm a fan of my squad, the Los Angeles Lakers, they're trying to see who's willing to consume this nonsense and hop on board. It's all about manipulation. That's what this is all about. That's the only way this can work. If basketball fans, which we're starting to speak out, the ones who really love, who want to see competition again, you got this clash going on right now. And this was earlier today by one Colin Cowherd. And this is what he said about the Hurricane and the Luka Doncic trade. Because there was talks when it first went down. Oh, he didn't know nothing about it. He didn't know nothing about that trade. He didn't know nothing about Anthony Davis about to get traded. Well, listen to what Colin Cowherd said on his own show. This was a live telecast. I want everybody to listen to what I'm talking about, man. This is why, as a fan of this team, I want no parts having this dude on my squad. None. I'd rather just support the team, whoever we was meant to have, whoever we drafted. Let's build them up, develop them. I believe we can exceed expectations, and this will be a very awesome experience. This ain't what this is, man. They're trying to elevate him to GOAT status. Now listen to what he says here. Check this out. I'm going to play it all the way through. This may take about 12. So I'll play about up to 12 minutes, but just listen to what he say. Check this out.
So LeBron needs one more point to score 50,000 points. Obviously, he's the most productive player in NBA history. 1 point shy from 50,000 career points. Nobody's ever done that, right? But one of the things LeBron has, and I've never seen anything like it, is intuition. If he was a sea captain and he was in control of the Titanic, it would have never hit the iceberg. I've never seen a guy that can see problems before they happen. The biggest mess in the NBA is now the Dallas Mavericks. Due to injuries, an awful trade, protests outside the arena, prices are down 40%, fans just sick to their stomach. Now you add on an injury. You got a head coach that doesn't trust the GM, fans who can't stand the GM. Dallas is a complete mess. The Kyrie thing just adds to it. Awful injury, awful. And yet, simultaneously, man, Luka's starting to really look good, and the Lakers are in the championship bubble. I mean, think about the timing of LeBron. It's always come in different forms and shapes, but think about this for a second. He bailed on Cleveland. He said, I've been here 7 years. You can't get me another player. He leaves. He was right. He wins titles, goes to 4 straight finals, and Cleveland becomes an even bigger mess. He was right. Then his best friend's D. Wade. He gets to 4 straight finals, but D. Wade is struggling to play back-to-backs. And like a good investor, LeBron is always a year early, better than a year late. He leaves Miami. They fall off a cliff. He goes to Cleveland and wins. Then Kyrie gets in his feels. He carries, J.R. Smith and some quirky guys, hard to convince other pros to come to Cleveland. He bails. Cleveland goes into the tank again. And LeBron goes to Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, people say, oh, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, they got Brandon Ingram, they got really good young players. LeBron gets them out, gets AD, wins another title. He's right again. And then, over the last couple of years, as LeBron ages, LeBron privately, he did, and you know it, was concerned that AD could not get him easy baskets. AD was a good teammate. They worked together, but they weren't perfect as LeBron aged. And LeBron looked around the league and thought, who can get me easier baskets? The 2 best outlet guys are Jokic, he's locked up in Denver, and Luka. And he gets Luka. And the Lakers are now on fire. AD immediately gets hurt. The entire organization's a mess. Now, I'm supposed to believe that LeBron didn't know. I find that very hard to believe, and you can call him selfish. But here's something you have to call LeBron as well. Right. He is always right. I've never seen anybody with this kind of intuition. Everybody told him, be loyal to Cleveland. He was right. How can you bail on your buddy D. Wade? He was right. You're going back to Cleveland? Cleveland can't win. He was right. Los Angeles, it's a broken franchise. Well, at least you got good young teammates. No, he was right. AD was the star that just needed help. And then AD's played a couple of really good years, and he stayed mostly healthy. And you know what that means? It was time to sell the stock. You got your title. He was finally consistently healthy. He was older. And LeBron's like, I'm still a top 5 guy in the league. And I think privately, LeBron had said, he's a good fit. He's not the perfect fit. And I watched the Dallas Mavericks become a mess over the last 3 weeks. And, some of it's just bad luck. But in my life of watching professional athletes, I'll say it again, he's a good investor. He's like Warren Buffett. He may be a little early, but he's never late. He always knows when it's time to move up. And it was funny, when Luka came here, and again, AD was really good for him. But he was 32 years old, and every Laker fan would watch AD and be absolutely honest. Weren't you always holding your breath? Weren't you always holding your breath? Of course you were. Now, and LeBron does this. When he went to Miami the first time, people said, hey, it's not going to work. It's clunky. You don't have a center. It's not always pretty for LeBron when he first goes to a place. It's not always pretty. It's a little clunky. But he made Miami right. Oh, Kyrie's a bust. Nobody can play with him. He brings over Kevin Love. He's a stat padder, not a winner. Took about a year to get it right. He got it right. Then he brings over AD. Had to get rid of the young kids. A little bumpy early. And then he got it right. So I don't know if Luka's going to win the first year, but every time LeBron hits this crossroads, like Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, they were still good. And the Cavs were still good. And LeBron and AD were still good. But LeBron seeks great. And I do believe he may have been given a day or two heads up, but I think he had grumbled privately that as he aged, AD was a good fit, but not a perfect fit. That LeBron still had to always be the initiator of the offense. And LeBron knew I'd rather be a receiver on some nights, not just the quarterback. So as I watch this just sad mess in Dallas, it reminds me a little bit of the mess in Cleveland and the mess in Miami and the mess in Cleveland, and nobody avoids stepping in it like LeBron. It's not always perfect. The takeoff can be bumpy. Always makes the land. I mean, the Dallas situation now between ticket sales, the lack of trust. I mean, Mark Cuban, ask yourself this. Mark Cuban a year ago said, I'm going to sell the franchise. You don't think LeBron James looked at that and thought, Luka may be available? I really believe this. I absolutely believe this. I believe every time LeBron was around Luka, remember when Luka came into the NBA first year? Go back and look at the tapes. Kid was 20 games in. LeBron's like, that kid's great. LeBron's like a talent scout. LeBron's like, that guy's great. He just makes sure everybody around Luka knew that LeBron thought you were great. He tried to get Steph Curry a couple years ago. Steph's like, now I'm a Warrior. Remember, he kept saying nice things about Steph. What's Steph do? Steph can initiate the offense. LeBron can play off ball. LeBron can get easier baskets. So initially, he wanted Steph. And Steph wasn't available. Steph pushed back. Then he moved to Luka. Slowly saying nice things, keeping in contact with Mark Cuban. Cuban leaves the Mavericks. You know, Cuban and Luka, they were tight. What does LeBron see when Cuban leaves? An opening. An opening. You lost your owner. New people in the building may not trust him. LeBron saw it, made sure the right people knew, and he ends up playing with them. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. Too much of this stuff is public and well known. But how does LeBron end up once again? He tried to go Steph 2 years ago. I mean, good God, that was a 2-year rumor. He made sure he'd always hang out with Steph and see Steph and talk about Steph, and Steph was great. That was what he wanted to do, and Steph's like, I'm going to stay up here. Then he moved through the channels in Mark Cuban. Cuban sells. LeBron sees a moment. I'm going to go get him. And it took a year of working the channels behind the scenes, but the idea this was a big surprise, caught everybody off guard. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. LeBron is intuitiveness. You call it selfish, I call it right. I've never seen a guy that, stuff just implodes. And LeBron's like, oh, what happened back there? Woo-hoo. Boy, did I get lucky. Wink, wink. I avoided another disaster. Nah, it ain't luck, man. I think he had this Luka thing planned out. The minute Steph said officially no, I think he had this Luka thing planned out the last year and a half. I really do. I absolutely do.
So we started hot take happy hour here.
It's not even a hot take.
No.
There you go, folks. There you go. As they say, straight from the horse's mouth. And this is sad commentary. And I keep saying, when they allowed this dude to operate with impunity, and when he ushered in the super team era as the primary focus of that trio down there in South Beach in Miami, he, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, the NBA as we knew it at that point was done. It's as simple as that. This is why, because they're trying to elevate him to GOAT status. Now, and because of that, this is why they have to discredit the accomplishments of past players. This is why they started referring to past players as plumbers and firemen. Because those stars in those previous decades, they competed and they led their team to their full potential. Especially when it came to winning championships. The NBA as we knew it was done. Period. And like I say, man, what did he say? And I'm gonna tell you, Anthony Davis, he should have never agreed to play with this dude. He's been devalued since his first year playing with this guy, a la the Hurricane. Even when he was responsible, since the Lakers mortgaged the future to get him, when they won in the bubble, or the year of the bubble, he led the team in every statistical category except for assists. But he didn't get no credit. Because you know what they're going to say? Well, what did he do before he started playing with LeBron? But the thing is, LeBron recruits these players. They don't recruit him. For the most part, they be out there trying to compete. From AD, Kyrie he followed the decision in Cleveland, and he had to go out there and try to establish himself in a situation that, did they really expect Kyrie to start winning right away after following the decision when the whole franchise was almost flatlined after he left? Coming off of 2 60-plus win seasons? We never seen a superstar lead a 60-win team. Never. I can't think of one. What did he say? He gets here in L.A. Well, he said himself. He left South Beach because he thought Dwayne Wade was finished. He saw Kyrie as the new and improved D. Wade. He saw Kevin Love as the new and improved Chris Bosh. Look, man, they telling you. He just told us. They want him to be the GOAT. That's why he referred himself as the chosen one. Look, what did he say? He gets to LA. Now, the talking heads initially said, well, he was going to elevate that young core, teach them how to be winners. Well, how you going to teach them how to be winners? And he was coming off of 2 straight finals losses. He was coming off of 2. He lost think about this. He lost his first 2 finals of his career, which means he has a propensity to lose on the biggest stage. He said he didn't have enough help in Cleveland. He goes to Miami, form a super team, and the first year on the super team, not only did he lose, but he was the reason why they lost. Not Wade, not Bosh. Okay, what did Cowherd just say? He came up in here when they said that he was gonna lead the young court to the Western Conference Finals. Man, I knew better that they was already done. And what did he say? He got rid of them. What kind of stuff is that, man? This is why I back that young core to this day and always will. whether they win a championship in their career or not, because it's not about what they're doing elsewhere. It's about what they could have did and should have been given opportunity to for that purple and gold when they gave us 150%. This is why I say that it had nothing to do with them not playing good or improving or not competing. They was competing just as hard as anybody we've seen. It's just they were young starting out. So he told you, he just said that he came up in there and got rid of the young core. He got rid of them. Like, how in the world can a player, much less someone that's not even part of your franchise, be brought to your team and have the muscle, the flex to get rid of your own players? Ooh, what are we talking about? Then what he say? He got AD, and once he felt that AD reached his expiration date, he started orchestrating the next move to bring in the next star to prolong his career, and what they say, who he can play off of to make it easy for him to do what he do. See, right now, the way this is set up, he don't really have to play organized basketball. He can just go out there and get it. He ain't really got to play no defense. Because believe me, as this, once teams start kind of adjusting to this new lineup that the Lakers have, they'll adjust accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And he won't be playing quote unquote defense like the way he's trying to now to show that they don't need Anthony Davis. Oh man, this is brutal. This is brutal, man. Anthony Davis never should have played with him. He's not been in any MVP considerations. He's been forced to play out of position, which could have led to a lot of them injuries he suffered, playing out of position. So I'm telling you, man, look, he just said it on his own telecast, on his own broadcast. He told you that he was recruiting Steph Curry. That was a real story. He was trying to recruit Steph Curry. And that's why I say he's not improving anybody. He is benefiting from playing with elite franchise level talent to keep his game going, man. He's mastered the art of manipulation and what you see out there on the court. He's mastered it. But what's crazy is, throughout the course of this season, he had the worst plus minus on the team because he can't really play outside of his system. The drive and kick. So eventually, that even brought down AD's game. Remember, AD was coming through the door averaging 28 and 12. AD never should have agreed to play with that dude, man. He never should have did it. But hey, I mean, it's a wrap now. And my young core, man, they was all dispersed, all because of him. He's telling you, man. He's dictating all this stuff. So if the Dallas Mavericks, he's saying Dallas Mavericks is a mess. Well, when the franchise player of the past 6 years is unexpectedly, unforeseenly snatched from his own franchise, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when something like that occurs? Out of the blue. Tell them what's going to happen to Luka in the end. See, it always looks good. It always looks good when it start off, people. It always looks good. If you look, the way this dude roll, he'll come to your team, like even in Miami, you're not winning the first year because their first year is going to show the flaws in his game. And then from there, he start trying to recruit other superstars who can cover for those gaps in his game. Oh man, this is brutal. He just told us what the deal was. He just told us what the deal was, people. He's saying LeBron had a hand and was planning the trade for Luka maybe over a season ago. To make it easier for him. Even easier. Because AD is a big man, so he can't really pass. A big man outside of Jokic is not responsible for initiating the team's offense. So he just zoned in on the reigning scoring champion and arguably the best offensive player in the NBA. When you start talking about points, and assists. Tell him, man, this is a trip. But what's bad about this, man? More and more NBA fans becoming cynical of the situation, man. They tuning away. See, you know what I'm saying, man? As like they try to trash Michael Jordan these days. Michael Jordan said, "You can't fool the consumer, dog. You can't fool it." See, Michael Jordan was as real as it get. He was as real as it got. And it spawned a generation or two generations of players, man, who try to emulate that influence, man, that impact that he left when he retired. You know what I'm saying? But in a positive way. That's not what this dude is doing, man. It's all about him. It's all about him. It's not about the team. What I'm saying is, man, even when Jordan was the top dog in Chicago, the way that team ran, it was about the Chicago Bulls. Yes, it centered around his leadership and his competitiveness and his determination, but it was still about the Chicago Bulls. That's why the revisionist of today is trying to suggest that all his teammates were Hall of Famers. Because they won, and he made sure they won. It's not about him elevating the team. The Hurricane, it's about what you put around him. That's been the method of his so-called success. But what's crazy is, man, you wind up losing more than you win. You notice how they'll say, well, he went to 8 straight finals, but they don't mention all the losses, though. Well, you'll get a title, but look what you have to do to get it. You have to get rid of everybody in sight. It's not real team building, people. And his fans know this, man. They know that. This is why they have to, this is why they're led to have to try to attack the past. Because Michael Jordan didn't take one entire shortcut during his career, not one. This is what led him to be so complete as a player to where by the time he broke through and won his first championship, you knew you couldn't beat him because he didn't take no shortcuts. See, he dot. It's like with him, you dot all the I's and cross all the T's. You weren't gonna beat that man. With money on the line, you weren't gonna beat him. You can forget it. You weren't gonna even force a game 7. You can forget it. Then you have another guy. They knew who can win and get it done. If he just had a complimentary player along with him, and they blocked the trade to keep him from winning. But this dude, he gives anybody he wants. Tell me, man. Never seen nothing like it, man. And his fans think people are intentionally against this dude. No. Ever since that decision in Miami, competition has been devalued, man. The NBA as we knew it, not in a nostalgia sense, but in the sense of what the standard was that was established all them years, that was thrown out the window on that day. And it's all led to what we're saying right now. And I can just imagine what the NBA would be like if that didn't go down in the summer 2010. I think the NBA would be off the charts, man. Because we would get a fair shake to see who's who. And it would be based off competition, no narratives, nothing like that. None of these swan songs or these, you wouldn't have no talking heads. But this is where we at, man. And he told you, he he just shared, this dude get to operate with impunity. That's what it is, man. That's all it is. You notice the Laker front office, man, they being celebrated again, and not, they go through this back and forth. When it don't work out, he ain't doing enough. The GM ain't doing enough. He need to step down. It's the same old thing every year, man, and it's tired and it's really played out, man. This man has had 2 decades to try to prove that he's better than a guy that they're trying to erase from history, and it's not even close. It's not even close. That's what's so bad about it, man. And I'm telling you, if the NBA ever folds, this is gonna be the reason why. Not saying that it will, but if it does, because there's a lot of lingering questions about this league right now. A lot of cynicism, a lot of skepticism. People, starting to, suggest to themselves that what they're seeing ain't real and it's not genuine. And when you get to that point, man, it gets real murky. So it just comes down to, man, or you gonna put all your chips to try to make a player bigger than the game, or you gonna uphold the standard of what made this league great. That's really what we're dealing with right now. So I asked everyone who tuned in to listen to this. I wasn't planning on doing this. I came across this earlier. I said I want to play it for the people so they'll understand what's going on. But I ask that you leave your thoughts and comments on the post on this video. And this is a Golden Nugget special edition. This is JB for BTB, Behind the Bench.